The first rule of the Obsidian Ascendancy Academy was simple. Power was taught through pressure. No banners declared it. No speeches explained it. Cadets learned quickly through experience. Species shaped by claw, fang, and hierarchy believed instruction only mattered if it hurt. Authority was proven, not assigned. Instructor Vial Threx had enforced that rule for 27 cycles. He stood above training ring 7, arms folded behind his plated back, watching the rotation begin. Cadets sparred in controlled clusters. Displays of dominance were permitted. They were expected. The academy did not stop disputes unless they became inefficient. Pain was efficient. Among the new intake was a human. Name: Elias Moreno, age 34. Build tall but narrow, long-limbed, density low by academy standards. Enhancements: none augmentations, none recorded combat specialization. Emergency response non-military threats remembered the file. Unimpressive by every metric that mattered to predator species. No claws, no fangs, no visible armor, no ritual markings. Quiet. That alone attracted attention. Across the ring, another cadet noticed him. Draxul was bred dominance. His species evolved on a gravity-heavy world where status was established through physical suppression. Massive shoulders, reinforced joints, serrated bone ridges along his forearms. He had already forced 3 cadets to yield that cycle. Draxul watched the human move. Elias did not look back. That was the first error. Draxul stepped into the human's path, letting his shadow block the overhead lights. Elias finished adjusting his wrist wrap and looked up. His expression did not change. No fear response, no challenge signal, just awareness. "You obstruct rank," Draxul said in common, his voice resonant and slow. Elias glanced at the boundary lines on the floor and stepped sideways, clearing the path without retreating. "Didn't realize," he said. "That should have ended it." Draxul snarled softly. The human's voice lacked submission. "You move when I say," Draxul replied. Elias met his gaze again. Brown eyes. Steady. Unremarkable. "I already did," Elias said. Instructor Threx shifted his weight. This was still within tolerance. A test. Cadets probed hierarchy constantly. Most ended with posture, a display of teeth, a growl. This one felt off. Draxul circled. He brushed Elias's shoulder deliberately, the contact light but invasive. A reminder. Nearby cadets slowed their drills. Elias kept walking. Draxul laughed, a sharp bark of sound. He followed and shoved Elias between the shoulder blades, harder this time. The human staggered 1 step forward, caught his balance, and stopped. He did not turn immediately. Threx raised 1 claw. This was the threshold. Elias turned slowly. His breathing had changed, slower, deeper, controlled. "Do not touch me again," Elias said. His voice did not rise. It did not threaten. It ended the discussion. Draxul saw something then and misread it. No crouch, no preparation stance, no raised limbs. Stillness. Predator species relied on visible escalation. Stillness meant fear or surrender. Draxul struck, a heavy arc of reinforced bone aimed at the human's head. Elias moved inside the strike, not away. Inside. His forearm intercepted at the joint, redirecting momentum. His other hand gripped Draxul's wrist and rotated sharply. Precision, not force. Draxul's center of mass shifted forward. Elias stepped closer, too close. His elbow struck once, compact and controlled into a nerve cluster beneath the rib plating. Draxul's breath left him in a harsh exhale. Elias released the wrist and stepped back. Draxul collapsed to 1 knee, then both. His limbs locked, muscles misfiring, conscious, helpless. The exchange lasted under 3 seconds. Threx was already moving. He arrived to find Elias standing still, arms relaxed at his sides. Sweat darkened the collar of his uniform. His jaw was set. Draxul lay on the floor, alive, breathing, unable to rise. Silence swallowed the ring. Medical units rushed in. Threx scanned quickly. No lethal trauma, no fractured plating, neural shock, temporary immobilization. What happened? Threx demanded. Elias did not look away from the fallen cadet. He crossed a line, Elias said. I warned him. That answer unsettled Threx more than defiance would have. The session ended early. Elias did not celebrate. He did not explain. He walked off the ring when dismissed. Cadets watched him differently now. Not with fear, with recalculation. The evaluation chamber was sterile and bright. Instructor Threx stood with behavioral analyst Cora Vesh, whose species specialized in micro-expression detection. Elias stood unrestrained. You ended the conflict decisively, Vesh said. Why? Elias considered. Because it wasn't going to stop, he replied. You calculated that? Threx asked. Yes. No hesitation? No. Vesh's crest shifted. You did not posture. You did not attempt dominance signaling. Elias shrugged slightly. I wasn't trying to win, he said. I was trying to end it. Threx felt unease crawl along his spine. When did you decide that outcome? He asked. When he shoved me from behind. Silence filled the chamber. You could have retreated, Threx said. I did, Elias replied. Before that. Vesh reviewed the data. Your strikes avoided vital zones. There was no reason to cause permanent harm, Elias said. Threx ended the evaluation. Outside, footage spread faster than regulation. Predator cadets watched it frame by frame, searching for a trick. There was none. The human had not dominated. He had concluded. Draxul regained mobility within the cycle. When shown the footage, he watched without speaking. He did not roar, Draxul said eventually. He did not challenge. The medic nodded. He did not give me time, Draxul continued. I rely on time. That realization settled heavily. The Academy changed without announcing it had. New guidance packets circulated. Revised intervention thresholds. One page marked Human Response Protocol, contained more text than most species received in full chapters. Instructor Threx read it twice. Humans do not escalate gradually. Absence of threat display is not de-escalation. Once a verbal boundary is issued and crossed, resolution may be immediate. Threx remembered Elias's stillness. It wasn't fear, it was patience. Elias trained without further incident. No one tested him again. Not because they feared him as dominant, but because they understood something else. He did not want control. He wanted space. During a later sparring session, a cadet collided with Elias accidentally. Light contact. Elias stopped, looked at them. The cadet froze. Elias stepped aside without a word and continued. Observers exhaled. Threx realized how often Elias had done that before. Making room, avoiding conflict. The Academy had mistaken restraint for weakness. At the review board, senior instructors debated. The speed is concerning, one said. It prevented escalation, Threx replied. He could have killed him. He chose not to, Threx said, without hesitation. That distinction changed the room. The final classification was added quietly. Human conflict response is boundary-based, not dominance-based. Draxul returned to full duty. When asked why he avoided Elias afterward, he answered simply. He waits, Draxul said, until waiting is no longer an option. Elias and Draxul crossed paths once in a corridor. Draxul inclined his head. Not submission, recognition. Elias returned the nod and kept walking. Nothing more was required. The footage became mandatory viewing, not for technique, for understanding. Instructor Threx watched new cadets react. "Why didn't he stop when authority approached?" one asked. Threx answered honestly. "Because by the time authority recognized the shift, the situation was already finished." "Is that dangerous?" "Yes," Threx said, "if misunderstood." Later, Threx joined Elias on the outer track. "You changed the academy," Threx said. Elias kept running. "That wasn't my intention." "I know," Elias slowed. "People think not fighting means letting things happen," he said. "It doesn't. It means deciding when they end." Threx understood. The academy resumed its routines, but cadets no longer tested the quiet ones. Instructors intervened earlier, and humans moved as they always had. Calm, watchful, until a line was crossed. Then it was already over.